So istiqamah fi deen takes place from iman, not from ilm. Why is there no istiqamah? Why? What is the reason? And the reason is that the thing that a person wants to do, and the reason he's unable to do it is because he doesn't give da'wah of that thing that he wants to do. For this reason, he will not have istiqamah fi deen. If he doesn't give da'wah of that which he wants to do, he will not have istiqamah fi deen. So he says, the foundation for istiqamah fi deen is that you have to call others towards that which you want to practice. If you want to have that thing in your life, you have to give da'wah to that. That is the foundation. It is the usul. If he doesn't do this, then weakness will be created inside of him. He will start saying, oh, how can we do this? How can we do good? How can we practice upon good? The situation, the environment is not appropriate, it is not in our favor, is giving da'wah towards batil. How can we act like proper Muslims in such a difficult environment? So it creates a weakness inside of him if he doesn't give da'wah of that which he wants to practice. The Shaykh said that it is something that is difficult to understand in this time and place is that the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came upon the Muslims by means of da'wah. The help in favor of haqq came to fight against batil. If you become a helper of Allah, the helper of the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will become your helper. And if you leave this, then you will be in of soul's destruction. The Shaykh is saying the reason today the Muslims are being overpowered, the Muslims are being disgraced everywhere is because we have left the fulfilling the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have left that. So he's saying, the Shaykh is saying, whenever the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came, it came through the da'wah to Allah. Whenever da'wah to Allah took place, then the unseen help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was sent down upon the people. He's quoting as a Shaykh, he's saying that this da'wah ila Allah is blessed, it's taskhir muskhara. I don't know how to translate that. I don't know what it means. Taskhir muskhara. تسخير عالم كمسخرة. Anybody? تسخير عالم كمسخرة. تسخين. So Shaykh is saying that if we leave this da'wat ila Allah, then what will happen to us, we will start following other people. Even in ma'amuli things, like insignificant things, we'll start following them. In our daily day-to-day life, we will start following them. This will happen if one person, if somebody leaves da'wat. Without a da'wat ila Allah, a person will not be considered weak, ma'azur in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't understand that. It's too beyond my intellect. This is what he said in Urdu. Without da'wat, translation, without da'wat ila Allah, a person will not be considered weak, helpless in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I don't understand that. He's talking about Yusha bin Nun, the story of Yusha bin Nun. He's giving an example. He's saying on one side, the Asr Salat is becoming, for Yusha bin Nun on one side, Asr Salat is becoming delayed, and on the other side he has to confront the enemy. So the people, the army became worried, if we pray Asr, then the enemy will attack us. But if we attack the enemy, we'll miss Asr. What do we do? He says when a person gathers da'wat and ibadah together, the world becomes subjugated to you. Saying what the entire universe was subjugated for the Anbiya alayhi wassalatu wassalam and the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum ajma'in. They were subjugated whenever they did da'wah ila Allah. Whenever they did da'wah ila Allah, the world was subjugated for them. Meaning it was put under their control. He's going back to the story of Isha alayhi salam. Let him finish the story, then I will tell. So he's saying, then Yusha ibn Nun made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, Ya Allah, the sun is under your control, the army is under your control, everything is under your control. The sun is for us, and we are for you. Because we are busy in fulfilling your orders, please make the sun stay where it is. Don't let it go down. He said, Allahumma mahbisa, oh Allah, imprison it, hold it. Hold the sun. so that he does not become, so that he does not go away from the work of da'wah. So you shall be listening to Allah until we fulfill your order, until we fulfill the right of da'wah in Allah. Please don't let the sun go down. He said that we will confront the enemy, then we'll pray Asr. Ya Allah, please stop the sun, don't let it set. And then the sun stopped. It did not set. And that sun waited until these people finished confronting the enemy. In this day and age, it is impossible to imagine that something like an incident like this will happen. That the sun will stay and people fulfill the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the sun would stay in its position without moving. Then the Shaykh is saying, look, I'm going to tell you something that is very, very true. Sachi baat, like very true. A person who does not do da'wah to Allah, his du'as are not easily accepted. The promises of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not be fulfilled. A person who leaves Amr bil Ma'ruf, ordering good and prohibiting the evil, his dua will not be accepted. This work of da'wah is so azim, is so great in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that when they do work of this da'wah and some batil comes to confront them, Allah becomes the confronter. Allah becomes the one who opposes, Allah becomes the confronter. So now he goes back to the story of Isa alayhi salam. So when Yusha ibn Nun alayhi salam confronted the enemy, after he finished, he did the work of da'wah, then the sun set. So the nusrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to them. The Sahabas were in such a situation, their condition was such that when they would do da'wah, they would not leave a single person. They would give da'wah to every single person. This was the condition of the Sahaba radiallahu anhu ajma'in. They were saying that some people are in jail, but still, even in that condition, they give da'wah while being in jail. They were in very big trials, fitness. But nothing stopped them. These things did not stop them from giving da'wah. They were in even worse conditions than being in jail. But it did not stop them from giving da'wah. He's mentioning a story of one Sahaba, while being in jail, a state of major impurity, janabat, happened. So he could not leave the jail. So he was like, what do you do? Okay. He was thinking, what do I do? Okay, if salat's forgiven? No. What happens with this salah? Then the Sahabi asked, I need water for ghusl. He said, you get water just for, I think he said drinking, but you'll not get for ghusl. Yes, he said for drinking. You only get water for drinking, not for ghusl. The guard said to him. And it was so small, you cannot do ghusl with it. The Sahabi said, give me 2 days worth of water at one time. 48 hours. And he said that, give me 2 days worth of water right now and I will have patience for 2 days. I will not ask you. Give me water so that I can do ghusl. Shaykh is saying, the Sahabi, to fulfill one salat, he is willing to let go drinking water for 48 hours. This was Sahaba radiallahu anhu. To fulfill the right of one salat. So the guy said, no, you'll get today's water today, that's it. Shaykh is saying that the problem today, the reason we don't have istiqamah in deen is because whenever some obstacle comes in the way, we leave Islam. This is our situation. We leave deen. This is our habit. Some obstacle comes, okay, no more. So the Sahabi said, Ya Allah, what do I do? I have to fulfill the rights of salah. He said, once the Sahaba made this dua, the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took place. A cloud came inside the jail. Allah sent a cloud inside the jail. And He started pouring on him. Rainwater, cloud came inside the jail. How can cloud come? Shaykh is saying. He started pouring on him. Again he says, Dawah is taskhira alam ka muskhara. Sorry, I have no idea what that means. Now he's mentioning a story of MAULANA Saad. He took a Jamaat to Mewat. From Delhi to Mewat. The time of Asr came. So one of the persons stood up and went to the Rahbar. To the bus driver and said, stop the bus. He said, what's wrong? We have to pray Asr. He's like, no, the bus is not going to stop. Then he said, look, we tried. So he said, look, we tried to stop the bus to Asr. Now if the bus driver doesn't stop, we can't do anything. We did what we did, whatever was in our responsibility. He's saying the striving, Shaykh is mentioning, striving in the path of Allah will open up the doors to ease, to success. Effort in the path of Allah will open the doors to success. He's saying that after MAULANA said we tried, but he didn't stop there. But he's saying today our situation is such that, look, if we go to somebody and says, tell us about deen, tell us the orders of deen, somebody will tell us, then if we're able to do it, we'll do it. If we're not able to do it, we'll let go. It's like, okay, that's it, I tried, no more. This is our situation. But this was not the situation with the mashayikh, the scholars, the pious people. Okay. Now I understood what you were saying before. He's saying that as long as we do not, I'm not saying, as long as we don't do da'wat, no excuse will be accepted in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember I said, he said, I mentioned something to say you understand? So this is what it means. When we do da'wat to Allah, as long as we do da'wat, no excuse, and there's no excuse will be accepted for not doing da'wat to Allah. He mentions a lot of points between stories. So again, he's going back to the story of the Hazrat. So one person went to the driver and said, stop the bus. He's like, what? What do we have to do? We have to praise Allah. He's like, no, you can't praise Allah. So he went back to the story again. This person became quiet and came back to his seat. Again, he's saying, look, I tried, but the bus driver is not stopping. What can I do? We're helpless. What can we do? Then again he asked, at the time of Asr what? And they said, look, time of Asr came. So the person said, I tried to stop the bus driver, but he's not listening. So the Shaykh asked, Hazrat asked that person, before you went to the bus driver, did you give dawah to every single person that's in the bus? Like there's so many people in the bus, did you give dawah to every single person in the bus? He said no. So Hazrat got really angry. So he said, if you didn't give dawah to everybody, how is this bus driver going to stop the bus? Saying, look, if the system of this universe can become subjugated because of da'wat, look how the oceans became subjugated because of this da'wat for the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. Sahaba radiallahu anhu took their horses, they rode on their horses and they crossed ocean, and they said that we did not even find the effect of water on the hooves, on the feet of the horses. So this is help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the unseen. Help from the unseen comes when we do da'wah to Allah. So he's saying, look, if Allah can do this for the Sahaba, as it is saying, then why is it said? How is it difficult? Why is it so difficult that Allah can make this bus stop for us? He said, like, how is this such a big thing if Allah can make this bus driver stop? He said, how did you go to the driver without giving dawah to the people? How? So then Hazrat said, he ordered all of the people in the Jamaat, every single one of you, give dawah to everybody in the bus. Give dawah to Asr Salat. So everybody started giving da'wat. Suddenly, something happened to the bus. Some problem happened. The bus had to stop. And it stopped right beside a small pond where there was water. And then they all made wudu and they prayed salah. So that bus driver, he was not Muslim. He was not Muslim. He himself said, look, this situation is not normal. When one person came to me and asked to stop the bus, I said no. Then when you started giving da'wah to one another, I started getting scared. I started feeling fear in my heart, something is about to happen. And all of a sudden the bus stopped. So this stopped because of your giving da'wah. The Ghaib Muslim, the non-Muslim, said that himself. Therefore the Shaykh is saying, look, the foundation for istiqamah in deen is giving da'wah. The foundation in deen, istiqamah in deen, continuity in deen is giving da'wah. Another story of Sahaba, Abdullah ibn Hudhafa radiallahu anhu took a companion of Sahaba to Rome. They captured him, and the king asked him, become Nasrani, I will give you half of my kingdom. So half of kingdom of Rome. It was not something small. Such a big kingdom. He said, the Shaykh is saying, if Abdullah ibn Hudhafa radiallahu anhu was not a da'i at that moment, he would have accepted the da'wah of the non-Muslim. But because he was a da'i, he saved his Islam. And he's saying that people, if they do not become da'is, they will leave Islam for small things, insignificant things. The Shaykh is saying that today we do not have love for deen, fitri love, meaning like natural love, something that's innate, it comes from inside you. We do not have that type of love because we don't give da'wah. Because we don't give da'wah. It goes back to the story, Abdullah ibn Hudhafa radiallahu anhu, he said, look, you can give me the whole kingdom, and you can even give me the kingdom of the Arabs, but I will not leave the deen of Muhammad, even the amount of the wing of a mosquito. Sorry, eyelash. Eyelash. So the Shaykh is saying, when a person is not a da'i, he becomes a mad'u. If a person is not an inviter, he becomes the invited. So give da'wah towards haqq, give da'wah towards the truth. So now the Shaykh is saying, for this, it comes in the Quran, the ayat that he recited in the very beginning, that the best person who has the best religion in him, the best madhab in him, he says, his religion is strong inside of him, is that person who gives da'wah. His religion is strong, his deen is strong, is that person who gives da'wah. Gives da'wah towards his deen. So he's saying, the first thing that we give da'wah is kalima la ilaha illallah. This should be the first thing in our da'wah. The kalima. Ikhlas. And when we give da'wah with ikhlas. story. We didn't finish, then I will translate. So, he's mentioned a story of this one Sahaba. He said, look, Ya Nabi alayhi salatu salam, you said that whoever says La ilaha illallah with ikhlas, he will enter Jannah. What is this ikhlas? So Nabi alayhi salatu salam says, ikhlas is that the person who said this kalima, it stops him from haram. This is ikhlas. That this kalima stops him from haram. That is his ikhlas. This is a sign of ikhlas. Shaykh is saying, to bring iman of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is an order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. People in this day and age, they think dawah is only for the non-believers. This is wrong. This is wrong understanding. He's saying, Shaykh is saying that today people think that كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ, this ayat is only for giving da'wah to the believers. This is, yes, a foundation of da'wah, is we give da'wah to the believers, but it's not restricted to only believers. So he's saying both is wrong. Giving da'wah to only kuffar or giving da'wah to only Muslim. Both are wrong. You have to give da'wah openly, equally. It comes in the Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, amanu. All the ones who have accepted iman, bring iman. He's translating, I already translated it. So he's saying this is such a strange order. Allah is saying, all the ones who have iman, bring iman. What does this mean? Something to think about. Ulama, they say that it means all the people who have iman, bring yourself under the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what the ayat means. Bring yourself under the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the meaning of Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, aminu. So now the question is, how do you fulfill this order? This is something to think about, the Shaykh is saying. Because this hukum is in the Quran and is also in the Hadith. And the Sahaba have done amal on this. This is the order of Allah. To bring iman, the people of iman, to act upon it, to bring iman. This is also the order of Sahaba. And this is also the amal, the action of the Sahaba. It comes in Hadith, continues to renew your iman. Sahaba asked, how do we renew our iman? Nabi alayhi salatu said, أَكْثِرُ مِنْ قَوْلِ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Continuously increase in saying La ilaha illallah. Again he's saying, the hadith says, increase in saying La ilaha illallah. Sahaba asked, how do we renew our iman? He said, Nabi alayhi salatu said, increase in saying La ilaha illallah. This is how you will renew your iman. Shaykh is saying, saying these words, and also thinking about this, in this day and age, people, they do it up to some point, on their own, they do it up to some point, but it has been lost collectively. Remembrance of this kalima collectively has been lost. They have taken it out of their da'wah. It is this kalima. Its existence is in the remembrance of, in the minds of people up to some point. It's in the minds of people up to some point, but in terms of collectively, it has been lost. Remembrance of this kalima. Sahaba saying the story of Abdullah ibn Rawah. He's saying Sahaba radiallahu anhu ajma'een, to renew their iman, they would do, one method was that, and he gives a story of Abdullah ibn Rawaha radiallahu anhu, says, come, let us sit and let us remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a few minutes. That was one method of reviving their iman. So the Sahaba, they complained to Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, says, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, what is wrong with this man? We have accepted iman on you, and he's telling us to come accept iman? What does this mean? So Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam replied to their opposition. Abdullah ibn Rawaha, he loves gatherings of remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He loves gatherings where Allah is remembered. He loves that. And Allah takes pride in that. He announces in front of the angels with pride about His happiness. Yani Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is saying, this is good, don't oppose it. He's saying that in the time of Sahaba radiallahu anhu ajma'een, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said, wherever azan is called, come pray. So some people gave excuses. One person said, Ya Rasulullah, I'm blind. Another person said, the same person said, I am blind, I don't have anybody to bring me. Give me permission to pray half of them at home. And he said, in front of my house there's a river that runs, and also in the masjid there's scorpions and snakes, so like how can I come? He presented so many excuses, and Nabi ﷺ said, come to the masjid. So he's saying, this is the order, just like it is the order, Nabi ﷺ said, you have to come, finish. The Shaykh is now saying, just like fulfilling the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mandatory upon every believer, similarly it is mandatory upon every believer to bring iman on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When a person comes to the house of Allah, he is affected by the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you bring people to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you explain to them about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they get affected by this. Just like when a person, when he goes to somebody's house, he's affected by the house. For example, a person goes to a poor person's house, he's affected, his heart is affected by the person's poverty. Similarly, when a person goes to a rich man's house, his heart is affected by the wealth of this man. So a person's heart is affected. So the Shaykh is saying, I proposed the question, how did the Sahaba renew their Iman? What was the method? So he's saying, look, one of the method is, Sahaba themselves would say, come to one another, come, let us remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Method, remembering amongst each other, remembrance of Allah amongst each other. Sahaba used to say to one another, come, let us remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with each other, amongst each other. Again, he's repeating that story of the Sahabi where he says, come. Mu'adh ibn Jabal, yes, that's the name of the Sahaba. Mu'adh ibn Jabal said, come, let us sit and remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a few minutes. Correct? Mu'adh ibn Jabal? Huh? Khalis. Okay, sorry, no, not, yeah. Abdullah ibn Awad was doing this. It's not Mu'adh ibn Jabal, it's Abdullah ibn Rawaha. He's just repeating the same story, hadith. Maulana Ilyas, his Shaykh is saying, if Maulana Ilyas said that if I was to give a name to this amal, this work of da'wah, I would give it tahriq al-iman, movement of iman. So the Shaykh is saying, pray namaz, and the place for praying namaz is known. Give zakat. The way to give zakat is known. Pray, do hajj. Everything has its method. And to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is and to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to bring iman. To get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is by bringing iman on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shaykh is now talking about the ilm. He said the ilm of namaz, ilm of zakat, ilm of hajj, ilm of sadaqah, all of this ilm has been given. All of the knowledges regarding the obligations have been sent down. Right. Shaykh is saying today the situation is that majority of the people, they're ignorant. He's saying, do you have the knowledge about salah? Do you know which things break salah? Which things will make the salat qada, mandate, it makes, like redo? Which things make a person have to redo the salah? Do you know the rules of hajj? Shaykh is asking. So Shaykh is saying, how is it that, so people, they have knowledge, they know about how to pray salah, they know how to give hajj, they know about these things, but why is it that they do not know the knowledge for acquiring iman? Why is that? Yeah. So the Shaykh is saying, acquire the knowledge for getting iman. Acquire the knowledge for getting iman. People nowadays, people ask about knowledge for a'mal, actions. They ask, how do I do this, how do I do that? But they don't ask, how do I get iman? They do not ask this question. Shaykh is saying, the sign for Iman is that a person has knowledge of Iman. The sign of Iman is that a person has the knowledge of Iman. SubhanAllah. Very deep word. One time 7 people came to the Nabi alayhi salatu. Just by seeing the beauty of their face, he knew that they had Iman. He didn't even have to ask. Before salam, he recognized it. He didn't even have to ask. Shaykh is saying that before you make salam to a person, you have to ask them their name. Before you give salam to somebody, you have to ask them their name, because it is possible as a kafir and you can't give salam to a kafir. Non-believer, kafir, non-believer. So he's saying a person cannot be recognized as a Muslim without following the way shown by Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. This is how Muslim is recognized, by following the sunnah. He's saying that if a cow or bull is all black, but there's few white spots on his body, it sticks out. You can easily see that. Saying the Sahaba radiallahu anhum were different from everybody else because you can see the sunnah in their life. A Muslim should be such that if somebody sees a Muslim from far, he remembers Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how a Muslim should be. When somebody sees him from far, he remembers Allah, because that person has nur and sunnah in his life. That somebody else is reminded of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by looking at him. MashaAllah. So he's saying, the Shaykh is saying, we all have Iman, but what is the sign about Iman? How do we know that we have Iman? How can I know this? So he's going back to the story of those 7 people, that he saw Iman in them. So he said, what is the sign of Iman? He said, we have 15 characteristics. 5 regarding Iman, 5 regarding Amal, and 5 practices from the time of Jahiliyyah. Oh, this is going to be hard to translate. So he's saying we have Iman in Allah, we have Iman in the books, the angels, in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now the Shaykh is saying, believing in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that you understand halal is halal and haram is haram. This is what it means to believe in Allah, in the book of Allah ta'ala. Because the mushrikeen of the Makkah, they also used to know Quran, but they used to not act upon halal and haram. They used to say, why was this Quran revealed on this man? And then Muhammad, why was Quran revealed on this man? They had such jealousy. They had just jealousy for the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. So therefore, the meaning of believing in the book is that you accept halal is halal and haram is haram. So the Shaykh mentions a story And he mentions a bunch of stuff, and he goes back to the story, you get a little lost. Well, the Shaykh is saying, what is Iman? So again, he's saying that the Quran, believing the Quran means accepting what is halal and what is haram is haram. This is Iman. So Iman in Allah, His angels, His books, His messengers, and the Day of Judgment. So this is our Iman. He's saying these are the 5 characteristics of our Iman. And what are those 5 characteristics that are regarding to your amal, your actions? Saying that we testify there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah, and that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. We give testimony to that. And we establish salah. Shaykh is saying the meaning of establishing salah is that you pray salah properly. That you make salah proper. This is the meaning of establishing salah. The meaning of establishing salah is that deen gets established in your life. Islam is established in your life. Deen, religion. Whoever destroys salah, he destroys his entire deen. Whoever destroys namaz, he destroys his entire deen. Whoever establishes namaz, he establishes his deen. So the establishment of deen is conditioned under salat. Meaning if salat is there, then deen is there. If salat is not there, deen is not there. Shaykh said all of the bad things that we have today, it did not come from outside to inside, rather it came from ourselves. These evil things came from inside. It did not come from our outside. This is beyond my understanding. Shaykh is too fasih. Okay, so Shaykh is explaining this. He says, look, if your outside is bad, your outside situation is bad, it's because your inside a'mal is bad. And if your outside situation is good, it means that your inside a'mal is good. So this is what it means. That everything outside, the bad things did not come from outside to inside, but it came out from inside. So the Shaykh is saying, to save your body parts from haram, the most easiest way is to perfect your salah. Perfect your salah. If you perfect your salah, you have perfection in your deen. He's saying Abdullah ibn Abbas and Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu used to say that a person who talking about salah, I just forgot what he said. Inshallah, we'll come back to me, just 1 second. Yes, a person who his salah did not stop him from bad, that means his salah is worthless. If his salah did not stop him from bad things, that means his salah is worthless, has no value. He's saying salat stops the munkarat, the forbidden. Salat stops the forbidden. This is the effect of salat. Shaykh is saying, search perfection in deen through salah. Look for perfection in deen through salah. If salat is bad, then deen is bad. Shaykh is emphasizing on this. That's why he's repeating. He's emphasizing on this. He's mentioning the story of Sahabi, I believe it's Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. He saw somebody praying in the masjid, and he wasn't praying properly. And after he finished praying, he said, pray your salat again. You didn't pray properly. If you die in this situation, that 40 years you spent with Rasulullah will have no value to you. Fix your salat. So the Shaykh is saying, a person who does not straighten his back in salah, Allah does not look towards him. So he said, fix your salah. Perfection in deen will come in your life through salah. Perfection of deen is in perfection of salah. He's keep repeating. He's repeating it, emphasizing. Perfection of deen is in perfection in salah. So you go back to the story again. Number 3, we do Hajj of Baytullah and we give zakat. I missed one, sorry. So the Shaykh is saying, giving zakat means you give it to the right person, the one who is deserving of zakat. Giving zakat means giving it to the person who is deserving. MAULANA used to say, if a person fulfills the right of zakat, he will not be able to handle the amount of barakah that descends upon him. He's saying, looking for the mustahiq of zakat, the deserving person of zakat, is like searching for water to make wudu for salah. To look for somebody who is deserving of zakat, to go and find out the correct person, is like somebody searching, its importance, he's saying, its importance is like somebody having to go look for water for wudu, to pray salah. That's how important it is. So he's saying, to search for water to make wudu is a condition to fulfill salat. Similarly, the condition for fulfilling zakat is that you have to go look for the one who is deserving of zakat. So he's saying that the dealings of Sahaba between the rich and the poor is like children playing. And okay, saying in the time of Sahaba radiallahu anhu, the rich people looking for the poor was like a child, children when they play hide and seek, one person searches and everyone hides. So it's like they have to go look for these people. So saying it was for both. The faqir in the time of Sahaba, when they used to look for a rich person, it was as if the rich people, they hid. They could not find. And similarly, I mean, not in a bad way, but saying they could not recognize who the rich people were. And similarly, when the rich people used to look for the poor, they used to not find them. They used to hide. Like, hide and seek. So You have to understand hide and seek to understand this, otherwise you're not going to get it. Sheikh, you understand hide and seek? Okay. So saying the people, in the time of Sahaba radiallahu anhu, the poor people used to hide, and the rich used to look for them. Sorry, I said something wrong. In the time of Sahaba radiallahu anhu, the dealing between the rich and the poor was when the rich used to look for the poor used to hide. Okay? And in our day, it's the opposite. The poor looks for the rich and the rich hides. And in the time of Sahaba, so at this day and age, the rich, they hide and the poor are looking. In the time of Sahaba, the rich used to look for the poor, and in our days, the rich are hiding and the poor are looking. This is us. He's saying one of the foundation things that we need for perfection of Iman is sabr. And he said, what is sabr? Is that you have, bardash karna, means have sabr. He said when a person has sabr, the situations change. Halat changes. Sabr means, Shaykh is saying, sabr means to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every situation. To obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every situation. That is sabr. For this reason, it comes in hadith, fasting is sabr. Fasting is sabr. In the situation of hunger, in the situation of thirst, in the situation of desire, you control yourself. That is sabr. Have patience. Bardash means sabr. Sabr. Shaykh is saying, remember my words. Shaykh is saying, when the believers, they show sabr with sins, the help of Allah will not come. Meaning that they're committing sins, they're like, okay, no problem, they don't care, then the help of Allah will not come. And the Shaykh said the opposite. If we show sabr with difficulties, then the help of Allah will come. Shaykh is saying another meaning of sabr is taqwa, is fear of Allah Ta'ala. This is also, it comes in the Quran, this meaning. So he's saying in this day and age, we are showing sabr without taqwa, without fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you have to have sabr with fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you'll benefit. Then the help of Allah will come. In this day and age, Muslims are showing sabr without taqwa. He's saying, and the Shaykh is giving an example to show this. I think Hazrat said that, look, a prisoner in jail, a thief in jail, he's getting beat. He has to show sabr. He does not have taqwa. He does not have fear of Allah, but he's showing sabr. Is it beneficial for him? No, it's not beneficial. He's showing sabr with crime. It's not beneficial for him. Whereas true sabr is with taqwa. Sabr is not with crimes and sins. Sabr is with ita'at, obedience, and fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he's saying, when a thief is getting beat and he's getting hurt and he makes baddua on the police, no adab is going to come on them. The help of Allah will not come because he has no taqwa. He has no taqwa. He's saying that the situation of the Muslims today is that we live in the land of the non-Muslims. We take their money, we wear their clothes, we take everything from them, and then we make badwa against them. Is help going to come? Is help of Allah going to come? No. He's saying this similitude, our similitude is like a person sitting on top of a snake, and that snake is biting him, and then he's saying, remove this snake. Making badwa on that snake. You make badwa on that snake. You're sitting on him, and then you're making badwa on that snake because it's biting you. No meaning to it. He's saying, Allah is telling the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. Look, Yusuf alayhi salam showed sabr with taqwa. He showed sabr with fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And because of this, Allah took him out of the jail as a wazir, as a minister. When he left, he became a minister. So this is the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the effect of having sabr with taqwa. So my dear respected brothers, have sabr with taqwa. Show patience with the fear of Allah ta'ala. So the question is, if somebody is showing sabr, so why is this situation still happening? Why is this situation still happening? So he's saying, a doctor, when a sick person goes to a doctor and says, I have this sickness, why? Why? He says, look, you got this sickness because of such and such actions. Because you did this and this is why you have this situation, this sickness. So he's saying, this is our situation. So if you say, why are these situations happening to us, the Muslims' conditions are bad, it's because we did such and such bad things. So he's saying, my dear respected brothers, we have to have taqwa before sabr. We have to have fear of Allah Ta'ala before sabr. So he said we have to have taqwa before sabr. He's saying, look, Allah gave us so much ni'mats. Just to say Alhamdulillah is not fulfilling the right of these things. Words do not fulfill the rights of shukr, of gratitude. You have to show gratitude. Words are not enough. You have to show gratitude with your body, every single limb. Every limb shows the gratitude of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Shukr. Shukr. Gratitude is shukr. Every body part shows gratitude towards Allah ta'ala. saying it's such a strange thing. You are taking benefit from all your body parts and you're only doing shukr with your tongue? How is this? What is this? No, you have to show gratitude with every single body part, not just the tongue. Sheikh's words are deep. Deep meaning. Allahu Akbar. Aisha radiallahu anha says to Nabi alayhi salatu salam, look, Allah has forgiven all your sins. Why do you make such long rakats, long sijdas, long rukus? Why are you trying so hard? Allah has forgiven all your sins. What is the reason for making such effort? Allah has forgiven all your sins. So Nabi alayhi salatu salam says, Allah has forgiven all my sins. So should I not become a grateful servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Should I not show gratefulness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with all my body parts? So he's saying a person, when he shows gratefulness, all of the ni'mats of Allah ta'ala, all of the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will increase him in worship, will increase him in ibadah. Our situation is such that we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in misfortune. We remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in trials and misfortune, and we forget Allah when it comes to blessings. But it should be the opposite. We have to remember Allah ta'ala at the time of blessing and at the time of misfortune. So again, the Shaykh is repeating, shukr, gratefulness does not mean that we say with our tongue, alhamdulillah. No, it means we say with our tongue and we show with our body. That is true gratefulness. Now it's going back to the story of those Sahabas. Say one qualities that we have is that we stick to our words. We don't go back on our words. And I remember in the beginning I said 7 people came to Nabi alayhi salatu. He's going back to them, the qualities. He's saying that another quality that we have, we are pleased with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One more quality. These qualities, the 5 qualities that they brought from time of ignorance into Islam. One, that they stick to their words. Another, they're pleased with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And another third one, the Shaykh says very strange, is that when their enemies are in some sort of misfortune, they don't feel happy. When their enemies are in some misfortune, some misfortune, understand? They're not happy with it. So this is love for your enemies. So these people were all intellectual people. These people that came, they're very intellectual, they're very adib, very learned people. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam said, because of these qualities, I may be wrong because I missed few words, he said that because of these qualities that these people have, they were very close to becoming like Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam. They were close to becoming prophets because of these qualities. This is a part with translating. You missed half of the stuff. So Shaykh is saying, my dear respected brothers, look, you're not going to stay in this dunya forever. So make effort for that Jannah that you're going to be in forever. Make effort for that. So Shaykh is saying, my respected brothers, he's doing khulasa. Iman comes with its signs. Okay, sorry. The signs of Iman comes with knowledge. The sign of Iman is that you have knowledge of Iman. So therefore acquire knowledge of Iman. The sign of Iman is that you have knowledge of Iman. So therefore acquire the knowledge of Iman. So again, same. This kalima, la ilaha illallah, is the kalima of taqwa, is the kalima of the God-fearing. It is not only for the believers or only for the non-believers. It is for everybody. This kalima is for everybody. He's just revising, doing khalasa of what he's saying, whole bayan. So we should have ikhlas. We give da'wat, we have ikhlas. And we should have ikhlas in salat also. So that our salat stops us from evil. We should have ikhlas in ilm also. Is there any ikhlas in ilm? The Shaykh is proposing a question. Is there any ikhlas in ilm? So listen carefully. Ilm, there's two types. One is tongue and one is the heart. There's two types of ilm. The type of ilm is with the tongue and with the heart. Al-ilm ilman. Ilm is two types. The ilm of the tongue and the ilm of the heart. So you're saying there's different types of ilm. When you write something, this is ilm. When you say something, when you memorize something, these are all the ilm. So he's saying that look, when you write something, it's called ilm. When you memorize something, it's called ilm. But this is not true ilm. The place of the ilm is not in the books. The place of the ilm is not in the tools of ilm. It's not in the mind. It's not in the memory. The true place of the ilm is in the heart. So Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam says, al-ilmu ilman. There's two types of ilm. The ilm that is in your heart, that is a beneficial ilm. And the ilm that is on your tongue, this ilm will be approved for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, used against you. It will be so this basically it will be a means of difficulties for you. Ilm that is on the tongue, this is not good ilm. The beneficial ilm is the ilm that is in the heart. Ilm is for amal. Ilm is for action, is to act upon. In the day of judgment, you will not get your high status because of how much ilm you acquired. It will not be based upon the more knowledgeable person is, the higher jannat you will get, the less knowledgeable, the less jannat. That is not the system of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ilm will be, the levels will be based upon the amal. So therefore the Shaykh is saying, ilm is for amal. Saying the levels in Jannah will be based upon amal, not ilm. Allah give us. So saying again, ilm is two places. Ilm has two places, the tongue and the heart. The ilm in the heart should bring the fear of Allah Ta'ala in the heart. إِنَّمَا يَخْشَى اللَّهَ مِنْ عِبَادِهِ الْعُلَمَاء. Indeed, the knowledgeable people fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only the knowledgeable people fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And comes in the Quran, only the scholars fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning the knowledge of, not scholars, the knowledge of a people. So if the heart is connected with his ilm, then that is true ilm, and this is called. And if the heart is not connected with the ilm, this is called ilm of the tongue. So this is ikhlas in ilm. This is ikhlas in ilm. Ikhlas in ilm will stop you from haram. The true reality of ilm is that you fulfill all the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you abstain from all sins. We have to save ourselves from jahalat, ignorance. And he's saying, today unfortunately, people, they put the definition of ilm, all types of knowledge is ilm. Engineering, doctor, all of this is ilm. But this is not true ilm. This is not true ilm. There is people say that, we are learning the tools for this world, and they say that, I am acquiring ilm. This is not ilm. True ilm is what Allah and His Rasul brought. True ilm is what Allah and His Rasul brought. True ilm is following the way of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's saying, Shaykh said that, look, a person, doesn't matter how much ilm he acquired, it doesn't matter how much benefit the Muslims derived from him, took from him, it does not matter. In the day of judgment, Allah will ask him, how much amal do you have, not how much ilm you have. So he's saying true ilm is that which Allah wants from us, and in following the way shown by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Shaykh said, true ilm is when you're able to answer the three questions in the qabr. That is true ilm. True ilm is when you're able to answer the three questions in the qabr. And three questions will be asked in the qabr. The ilm of your Lord, the ilm of your sharia, your religion, and the ilm of your Rasul. If you have these three ilm, then you have true ilm. People nowadays have so much pride about their ilm. Oh, I teach Quran. Oh, I teach English. Shaykh is saying, to have pride over the knowledges of this dunya is the mentality of kufr, is the thinking of kufr. Shaykh is saying, what was the argument between the Anbiya alayhi salatu salam and their people? So Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam used to bring the rules of orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the people, and the people used to say, no, that is not true ilm. True ilm is what we have with us. So the Shaykh is proving that taking pride over the knowledge of this world is the mentality of the kuffars. He's proving his point. MashaAllah. Even today this argument is existing. So even today this exists, it exists, this type of mentality exists today. The kuffars are telling us, don't study your religion, come study ours. Right? But my dear spiritual brothers, learning ilm is fard. Acquiring ilm is fard. It's an obligation. So one time, Shaykh saying the story of Umar radiallahu anhu, he read the Torah. So Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam got angry at him. Like, why did you read the Torah? Why? Yani, the point he's trying to make is that true ilm is deen of Allah. So that even though this book was the book of Musa alayhi salam, Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam got angry at him. And look, Musa alayhi salam did not read this book with the intention of becoming closer to Allah or anything. He just did it to learn. But Nabi alayhi salam got angry. Look, when Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam brought knowledge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to them, they made fun of it. They said, this is no good. They had pride over their knowledge. They had pride. And Allah destroyed every single one of them. So again, Shaykh is proving his point. Look, having pride over the knowledges of this world is the mentality of the kuffar, is the thinking of the kuffar. So people, unfortunately, they read ignorance, they read jahl, ignorance, and they have pride over that. They read these knowledges which have no benefit, and they have pride over it, unfortunately. And this knowledge will not help them in the akhirah. It will not be their akhirah. Qarun used to say, whatever I have acquired, I've acquired it due to my ilm. Qarun. So the Shaykh is saying, who is the real people of ilm? Who are the real people of ilm? So, I believe the Shaykh said, Qarun asked, who are the people of real ilm? Right. So the Quran ayat, the Shaykh mentioned that, look, true ilm is those people who act upon, they get rewards due to their a'mal. That is true ilm. True ilm is, you get reward because of your a'mal, not what Qarun has. So the Shaykh is saying, upon your ilm. This ilm is an amanat from Allah. Act upon your ilm. This is an amanat. Shaykh is saying, the ulama are like clouds. They are the inheritors of the Anbiya. And the ummah is like the earth. And it is dry. And he's saying the earth does not move, but the cloud moves. So the ulama, they should move and they should go and spread the ilm all over the earth, so that just like a cloud, when it puts rain, the earth becomes tazgi, becomes alive, it becomes fresh. Shaykh is repeating, ulama are like clouds, ulama are like clouds. Okay. So he's addressing the ulama. Look, it shouldn't be that we just stay in our places and people come to us. No, look, be a cloud that moves. Huh? The Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam, the Shaykh said, don't be like a well. It just sits there. Whoever wants to come can come and take. No, don't be like that. Be like a cloud. It moves. The Anbiya alayhi salatu wassalam, they were talib. They were searchers, and people were matloob, they were searched. So be like the Anbiya alayhi salam. Go to the people, search. Take your knowledge and move around. Anbiya alayhi salam selected 70 ulama from the Sahabas. It's like wherever Islam has reached, but ilm has not reached them, go teach them. People think that groups or expeditions were made for fighting. No, that's not the only purpose. Expeditions were sent out for teaching also. On the battlefield, Sahaba radiallahu anhum used to give da'wah. So the movement of ulama is for spreading knowledge. This is what it should be. Ulama should be moving to spread knowledge. So the scholars from the Sahaba asked Nabi alayhi salam, why should we go to the people and teach? They should come to us. Like, no, go. Nabi kept repeating. Then they understood that, okay, it is our responsibility to go and teach the people. The ulama of the Sahaba, from the Sahabas, because of their moving around, the ilm was spread to all of the ummahs. Every single one of them used to move. Sayyid al-Qura, I forgot his name, sorry. So there's one Sahabi, he was called Sayyid al-Qura. I think you know the name. Fine. So he used to go on every expedition. He used to go on every expedition to teach and whatever. One year he didn't go because the Amir was a small boy. He said to himself, this is a new boy, I am an old, I know, why should I have to go? But then after that he regretted for the rest of his life. Why didn't I go? Why didn't I go? So this was the Sheikh said, the knowledge of the scholars, it is an amanat. It's an amanat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It belongs to the entire ummah. The knowledge that you have, it belongs to the ummah. They have a portion, they have a right of it. So it is your responsibility to give it to them. Shaykh is saying there is no difference between tabligh and ta'aleem. They're both the same thing. They're both the same thing. Tabligh and ta'aleem are both the same thing. Shaykh is saying the clouds of ignorance was removed from the ummah when the Sahaba radiallahu anhum ajma'in went to the people and taught them. They moved to the people and they taught them. So he's saying those 70 Sahabas, the Nabi ﷺ told them to go teach the people. They went to the people and these people, they killed them. So these people, these Sahaba, they did not go for the purpose of fighting. They went for the purpose of teaching. So this was the purpose. It comes in Quran that the Shaykh is saying, look, why isn't it like this? One group of scholars should go and teach the people, while one group stays back, and so that one group stays back also. So when the people come, they also teach them. This ayat is ayat in Quran that has that meaning. Shaykh is saying, look, there's two types of people. One ignorant and one people who have some sort of dini knowledge. He said the ignorant person is easy to teach him because you just tell him and he accepts. But the person who thinks he knows, it is difficult to teach him because he feels like he knows. So you have to take him out of his ignorance. Just like somebody who's seen a sheep, it is easy to tell him that this is a sheep because he's seen it. But somebody who has never seen a sheep, it is difficult to explain to him what a sheep is. So he's saying, look, go to the poor people. Go to the poor, go to the ignorant. It is easier to teach them. Because they don't know. So it's easy to teach them. There's less effort. As opposed to going to people who think they have knowledge. It's a bit more difficult. Go to the poor, go to the ignorant. It's easy. This was the habit of the Anbiya alayhi salatu salam. They used to give da'wah to the poor people. They started with the poor people because it was easy. They used to accept, their hearts are soft. Our purpose is that we bring the entire ummah on the deen. This is our purpose. Mentioning, comes in one hadith, the entire ummah is like one body. It's like one body. If some wound happens on the feet, the entire body feels it. So we have to be like that. We have to feel the pain of our Muslim brothers. We should be restless about the entire world, all the Muslims in the world. We should be restless for them. For this, make niyat right now, make firm niyat that you're going to go and spread deen across the entire world. The people who are doing, the ulama who are doing sal, you should make yourself understand and look, the responsibility of the entire ummah lies on my shoulder. So he's saying to the ulama, if you come for the sal, complete your sal, and the people who have completed their one sal, make niyat to go outside of India. So who's ready for this? Bring tashkil now. Subhanallah wa bihamdik, subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.